welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
All right, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. We're over the hump, as they say.
Is that what it is? Okay. All right. Yeah, no, so we got a little bit more day left.
Oh, we can still F this thing up.
It's still very early for a lot of people. It's late for us, but I mean,
Yeah, just getting going. Well, we got a lot of stuff here to get to. Thank you for all the emails. You can always hit us up, mail at kvjshow.com. If you haven't yet, we're doing a poll for the cars with the biggest asshole drivers. And the BMWs were running away with it. Jenna said, yeah, it's definitely BMW. Just the other day, I drive a Lexus RX 350 and a BMW was riding my ass as I was going 80. So I brake checked the bitch.
Oh.
Do what she do at 7:10 in the morning, come around me and starts driving 15 miles an hour in the HOV lane. The cars behind us were hot pissed, and rightfully so. Some dude was so pissed he swerved at her. She hit the ass ticklers and sped off. She got off at Okeechobee, and I followed her. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my. Now that's where you got to draw the line.
You're getting escalated. Yeah, I don't go to that level.
you don't think it's a good idea to follow her?
Come on.
Yeah, come on.
What are we doing?
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
Get away from you. Yeah.
Trust me. We hate them too, but they're not worth you losing your cool over or something escalating. And then you don't know if she's got a gun.
It does, though. But traffic shit brings out the animal, the monster, the rage in some people.
I know.
It doesn't do any good. I just immediately, I try to resolve the problem that is going on with whatever they're doing and then just get around them and leave them in the dust and not ever think about it again.
I try not to even look at people at the window anymore.
No.
Yeah, I had Panda put tint on my windows, so I can't see them, they can't see me, and I just could not possibly care less.
I don't want no beef.
No. I'm a terrible driver. It has nothing to do with you.
I can't. I couldn't even kick for my YouTube karate right now if I could go fight. Yeah.
Now is the perfect time to kick your ass.
It's the most. You could kick my ass. Rocco, your son, could kick the shit out of me right now. Oh, he's got tenacity. He'd fuck my world up.
He would never. Rocco loves Jay Bird.
Good. Well, I love him too. So yes, please tell him about to kick my ass.
Mm-hmm. We got Daniel saying, yeah, the top a-holes in cars are BMW, Audi, Tesla, Honda Civics, and Accords, Porsche SUVs, Teslas, Nissan Altimas, Mustangs, and Camaros, Lexus, and then last but not least, the new Toyota Camry drivers, specifically the XSE and TRD trim levels. Okay. Well, you can go and cast your votes to what we had available at kvjshow.com. We'll check in on that tomorrow, see what the final vote is, but I don't see BMWs losing. They're at 71%.
I mean, that is a crazy number.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm mad because I used to have a BMW.
Okay.
I sold it, but...
BMW, big mouth witch.
That's right. That's right. A lot of crazy stuff going on there. Let me see. Another thing that started off today that was on my mind. I just thought it was a really weird day for ESPN Radio and West Palm Beach 106.3 to let their whole staff know on April Fool's Day that they were making massive changes to their lineup. Some of them were going to be let go.
Yeah, why do you tell people they're getting fired on April Fool's Day? Everybody's already thinking everything's a joke as it is, so now they're going to be all confused and scared and
They clearly did not think it through. I bet you any money they didn't even think about that. They did it because that's
that tells you where their head is as a management team, that they're so head up their own ass. They don't even realize they're making this monumental thing that's going to devastate people on April Fool's Day.
And if they did do it on April Fool's Day, it's kind of a dicky thing to do to the audience, too. It's not cool to treat your audience like that.
Because the audience might think it's a joke.
Exactly.
Well, and they do sports. And, I was on sports Twitter on Monday hating it because it was just one person tweeting out after another. An obvious lie. It was Tyreek Hill's retired. He's not coming back to the Dolphins next year. And you're like, all right, that's fake. That's fake. So if I would have gotten to my local sports station, like, yeah, you know what? This is our last show. Not coming back. I'd be like, all right.
It's fake.
Chuckleheads.
We know.
Yeah, no, they legit did it. So just kind of crazy. So Josh Cohen, the home team, they've been on terrestrial radio for 25 years. That is going to come to an end. I think he's going to be doing some projects for them digitally here and there. Ken Levicka is the play-by-play voice guy for FAU men's basketball and football. He is going to be doing play-by-play in some form with the company, but it doesn't sound like he's ever going to be on ESPN again, so he's gone. I know one guy from his show was just let go. I think Theo, the other guy, is going to get his own project somewhere else. So it's kind of a weird day to do it, man.
It's a weird day, man.
And especially they just built all new studios. I don't even think they had their video equipment in yet.
Aren't we getting the studio rebuilt?
I know, yeah. It's
shit.
Yeah.
They
Bad
tell
omen
you
for
they're
us.
building you a studio and then they fire everybody?
They're building you a tomb.
Yeah.
That's just weird. They didn't. The management didn't have the foresight to not build the new studio. Are they putting replacements in that are syndicated? You don't need a fancy studio for syndication.
Is there any way they just want to hit the reset button and they're going to bring in local shows? I just don't see them doing that.
I don't know why you bring in anybody else. I mean, the one thing that helps, especially with local sports, is somebody that understands the sports teams in the community.
And it takes people a while to kind of get used to somebody new.
Yeah, I mean, Josh has been doing it for 25 years. Ken Levicka has been on since, I think, 2007, like 17 years for him, something like that. So, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't fully understand what's going on yet.
The good thing is, though, and I believe it to be true, the home team, they do have an audience. So
yes.
Where he does decide to go, whether it's on the internet or someone else takes him in, people will follow him because he's got people that love his show.
And he's truly our friend. Like, I was neighbors with him for a while. We used to seriously, like, watch all kinds of football games together and pal around. And it just makes me sad.
Yeah, I was texting with him yesterday. And I feel kind of ignorant that because I think he's kind of dancing around it, and I had really no idea.
So he knew it was coming.
I think he knew it already happened, and so I didn't know what was up. I didn't know until Stone, who's on Ken Levicka's show, he texted me, and he's like, "Yeah, I got cut." I'm like, "Wait, what?"
You were texting with Josh, and he had already been fired, and you didn't know?
Or they made the change.
So
I didn't know at the moment. Yeah,
you and Josh
because this was yesterday, so this is Tuesday. So I guess they dropped the bomb on Monday to them, and then yesterday they were all addressing it on their shows. Oh. So I was texting with Josh after the show before he'd even gone live on his radio show and made the announcement.
Oh, so you guys just kept it to sexting.
Yeah, it was there. I mean, there were some like, hey, we need to get together and have a drink and talk about some stuff. And so we were thinking about hanging out at Tortuga on Saturday anyway. So I was like, oh yeah. And so I could kind of, every now and then you can kind of sniff maybe something's going on in the winds.
Somebody needs to talk.
Yeah, and so I kind of got that, and then like I said, Stone, who's on Levicka's show, he texted me and he's like, yeah, I got caught, and I'm like, it sucks, man.
We love Levicka.
They're all good. They're all really good dudes. They're all very solid people. Yeah,
and I think they're good. They're really, really great at their job too. I'm not saying that to be pandering. I really believe that.
They're all fantastic, and so that's I just anything where you take away local radio, I hate it. And Josh was kind of addressing that. Hey, we're going where the people are, and people just aren't radio anymore. And in a sense, alluding to that maybe that's the company line, but I don't like that either because that's a fallacy. That's not true. In fact, I just saw there's like brand new numbers that were out, a Westwood One audio active group poll that was done, a study actually, pretty in-depth one, pretty good sample group they had, and of 18 to 34-year-olds who are still listening to audio or video weekly, 77% of them are still doing AM, FM radio. 50% are doing live and time-shifted TV. So look at how much bigger radio is over your time-shifted TV. 48% now are doing podcasts. That's the biggest growth.
And that's a big growth. 48% is a huge number.
It is. Look, and I'm not taking away from the podcasts because obviously we do a podcast right now. And we do our regular show that is podcasted. But to me, my point is don't poo-poo on live local radio, because there is something about having that instant reaction. And the point I had yesterday was the guy that had robbed something or other, jacked a car, was on the highway, and there was a standoff on I-95 at Ives Dairy Road, and we're talking about the time. Even a podcast, and our podcast can't do that. As you're driving in your car, be like, oh my gosh, they're talking about this is happening right now.
In the moment.
Yeah, in the moment. I think there's something pretty cool about that. And the interactivity, you lose a slight bit of that in podcasts. I mean, we have our chat room that goes on whenever we do the podcast, like right now, but I still love it. Yeah, and it's still a viable medium. So I think the narrative is out there that radio is completely dead. Nope, it's still the number one mass media that is out there, and by a good bit. And so that's just a false narrative. Austin said, yeah, I hear what you're saying, Kev, about radio. I'd say my wife and I are maybe younger to listen to radio. Our friends always make fun of us all the time, but we love y'all and even listen to you on YouTube when we miss you in the morning. Sadly, we did move to Kentucky, so now we're listening on the app. Keep it up. Moving to Kentucky just means the KVJ Nation is growing. And yeah, I'm cool with that. Look, that's how it is. And I get it. Trust me, there's not many people in radio that is more of a digital proponent than I've been. I mean, we've been doing digital for 20 years. I think we were one of the first shows to start doing podcasting and time shift. And people are like, what an idiot you are. Why are you doing that? I don't understand why you would even try to. I'm like, because it's go where the audience is. They want this. They're going to want this at some point. And they called me a moron. Then when we started doing our show on video, they're like, you're a freaking moron. It's radio. So I've been called a moron my entire career. But so I've always believed in it, but I still believe in live local radio is the point. And I am a moron.
No.
Not at all.
You're a visionary.
I like when you get all. I like when a Dickie Rants comes out.
You have big ideas. People with small brains can't handle big idea guys.
Well, Leona, I think, would disagree with you. She is a critique here today.
Who's Leona? Is that an artist?
No, she's a listener.
That's being a dick.
She said during a segment today at approximately 8 a.m. on rapper Uncle Luke, one of the KVJ cast, I'll take the blame, it was me, said something about the girl, the challenger that was running against Uncle Luke. My point is that this woman should not have been referred to as a girl. A male politician would not have been referred to as a boy. I would not have called him a boy. I would have called him a guy. I do guys and girls. That's just how I've been for a while.
Kevin, you're such a dick.
She said the language we use influences attitudes.
Do you want me or do you want to?
Just let it stand.
I'm just. People have those kind of. I'm not going to change that.
No.
Like guys and girls, I've just always used it. I'm going to sound like an old fuck, I guess, because you can't say girl now. But
that's not true.
I'm over all this PC bullshit. I really am. I'm not going down that route. If that offends you, and if I say that someone is a girl, or if I say a man is a guy, you're going to have to find another show because I'm not changing that.
You try to get me fired. You can do whatever you got to do.
You can do all that shit that you all try to do.
To echo the Kevin Ralston's words, I don't give a fuck either.
Yeah.
I am so there with you.
I mean, come on. That's the stupid bullshit. So honestly, I'm not changing that.
This might not be the right program for you.
Kevin didn't do it to make you mad or to diminish the female role in any way. I do understand what she's saying, but she's looking at it through a tainted lens where she's coming at you for maybe what other people are doing on purpose. You are not doing it to diminish her as a strong female candidate in the race.
Woman or late, I don't even know what she wants me to say. I really don't know. I haven't gotten the latest manual on what the right pronouns, words, whatever the fuck you're supposed to be using today.
She would say woman.
People are very bored, and we as a species need a big old fucking meteorite to kind of head towards us so we can really worry about shit we need to start worrying about.
Well,
instead of nitpicking bullshit that you had nothing.
I use guys and girls. That's what I do. I wouldn't have called him boy. I would have called him a guy. I would have called her a girl. It's not any disrespect. I think that politician, that woman. I think she's very capable and she's been very impressive. And I, in no way, meant to minimize her.
We know that.
Yes.
Anybody who knows you knows that. And anybody who says that you were trying to diminish her just doesn't know you. And that's okay.
But tell me, doesn't it feel nice to say, I don't give a fuck?
Well, I just, I think for a certain period of time, I was like, okay, well, but I just realized people are just going to always be upset about something. And I've just, I don't know what, probably in the last year, maybe 18 months, I've just said, no, enough's enough, man. I'm just done with this shit.
Because you know what's in your heart.
Anymore.
You know what's in your heart. You know what you're trying to do.
I'm not doing this anymore.
And you're not saying anything bad, dude.
Yeah.
You're not saying anything terrible.
Well, and it was that we do, oh, yes, I'll never do that again. No, fuck off. I'm going to do it again.
Good.
Like, if it came back again, I don't take that back. I'm not apologizing. I say girl. I would have called him guy, and I'm going to probably do it again.
You pig!
Yeah. So fuck off. I'm not doing that shit.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Go fuck yourself.
Dickie
Seriously,
Rants.
go fuck yourself. That's unbelievable.
See, that's what happens. People who are trying and want to do right and trying to listen, you get to a point where you go, I'm not fucking listening no more. Yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, it's just it. I mean, if that tweaks you so much, then yeah, you got to find somebody that has more proper language to what doesn't offend you. I don't know where you're going to find it, but I'm sure there's some place that every word is
Don't worry. This rant right here.
completely PC.
You'll get an email about this rant.
Yeah.
You just have to look at someone's intention. And was he trying to diminish the female? No. Was he trying to be mean to her? No. It's how he speaks, and he was not trying to be hateful or hurtful, and that's it. Just go about your biz.
Believe it or not, some of us dudes are on your side, and we,
Yeah.
we're
I think a lot of people need to stop. Look, hey, I mean, there's people that are intentionally trying to hurt people.
Yeah.
And they're using words that they know will do that.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
save your comments for them. That was not it.
Kevin's not that guy.
No.
He's
See?
just not.
That's why Virginia tells you not to read the comments.
Dude,
Yeah.
don't read that kind of comment. That's just silly.
Yeah.
Silly.
So there you go. So it's
I love it,
I
though.
love all people. You be who you want to be. It's nothing about any personal thoughts or feelings. I just use that word.
I love it.
You see, Cassie sent an email. She said, I caught Vanilla Ice on Steve-O's podcast. What a cool dude. You guys have been blessed having him connected to your show all these years. I just wanted to send him a shout out. He's awesome, and I appreciate his work. That's all. Have a good day. Yeah, no, he's absolutely amazing. He really is. And we are blessed to be able to call him friends and have him basically have been a part of the show and now part of our Cherry Little Smiles because he just does so much amazing stuff.
He
So,
really does.
yeah.
And he directly impacts the charity with major donations and funding, and personally shows up to events and personally advocates for Little Smiles whenever he has a major national platform. Like, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want Kevin to keep ranting.
I'm good. That's enough.
I'm good too.
Kevin's
Yeah.
had a couple rants today. I love. What are you talking about? You don't like to see a Dickie rants come out?
He came out, he poked his head out, but put Jack in the box.
I'm just saying. Let the man have some fucking emotions.
He's good. He got it off his chest.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
John said, so one time I was texting a customer and I said, I'll pick up the caulk and be over tomorrow. Of course, caulk, C-A-U-L-K, came out cock. She texted back and said, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, but I'm good on the cock.
Keep your cock in your pants.
Yeah,
It is a tough word.
It is.
right.
When did that start to change? As cock, as far as the penis, how long have people been saying that word? Why would you name cock after cock? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why would you do that?
Can we go back and do a deep dive on the history of cock?
Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of interesting. Yeah, they change after a while. It seems like some of the slang like that, it may be good for 50 to 100 years, and then it gravitates onto something else.
Like all of a sudden, if I just want to start calling omelets twats, and people
Yeah.
started picking up on that, and language changed, well, guess what? Omelets are now known as twats.
And
Yeah.
you love to eat them.
Preach. Okay,
Yeah.
your turn to rant.
Let me see. Jennifer said, I posted on Facebook once that I love how a song can take you back, and it autocorrected to, I love how a dong can take you back.
Both things can make you nostalgic.
That's right. Oh, I
Oh,
remember.
I long for that dong.
Yeah. Angie was asking if Virginia has listened to Beyonce's version of Jolene or checked out much more of her new album yet.
I've just heard snippets and clippets, and I do like a lot of the speculation on TikTok.
Okay, what's that?
Oh my gosh. That Beyonce, the song Daughter, is about her killing Jay-Z's mistress.
No
Oh,
way.
you gotta go listen to it.
That's what that is?
I don't know. I don't think it's what it is.
Well, they're just, I mean, it's look, what's going on with all this stuff is really fascinating.
I agree.
Do I really think there's any truth to it? I don't know. I can't imagine. It would completely blow my mind.
I mean, murder.
Yeah.
The murders they're saying, there's a lot. If
Yeah.
all the TikTok murders are true, oh my gosh.
I'm starting to kind of compile it all together so that I can have a concise explanation of what they're talking with Jay-Z and Diddy. But it all started like there would just be a litany of murders and dead people all around. And one with Jay-Z, if that's what you're talking about, that song Daughter, it's in reference to Kathy White. I saw a TikTok on this yesterday. Apparently, she's somebody that Jay-Z was kind of seeing, would hang out with her, with Diddy and a couple other girls, got her pregnant right about the same time he got Beyonce pregnant. And it came down to be like, hey, Kathy, you got to disappear. And she did. She was unalived. Now, I didn't really find out how, but I guess that's part of what I got to figure out because the TikTok video didn't explain that. It just said that she was.
Wait, the TikTok it just had claims without any kind of
It
facts
did,
or anything
I mean,
to back it up?
that's a massive detail. Like, okay, well then, how was she unalived?
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to explain that. But that's what some of the stories are with the people, at least surrounding Diddy, is there's a lot of suspicious circumstances around the deaths going all the way back for like Heavy D. And now even Albie Shore, his friend Claudia Jordan, is saying even his coma that he had was suspicious. And was Diddy involved with that? And I was even looking today, and this wasn't even claimed, but even Kim Porter, who was Diddy's baby mama and so-called the love of his life, she died 6 years ago of lobar pneumonia, which is a type of pneumonia characterized by the infection and inflammation of one or more lobes of the lung. How many people do you hear dying of lobar pneumonia? It's something caused by bacteria.
She was young. She was fit.
Yeah.
But
She
they
was
say
47.
she was also considering writing a tell-all book
Yeah, so
about Diddy.
these circumstances, it does lend itself to all these crazy conspiracy theories.
It does. And even if there's no truth in any of it, boy, it makes for juicy TikToks.
It does, and it is.
It sucks
right now,
you
I'm
in.
all in, and I'm drinking it up. And yeah, there are even some people now trying to say, I mean, okay, what about the whole Biggie thing? How much involvement did he have to do with that?
Well, people are saying, oh, look at all the money he made off of Biggie's death. And I'm like, whoa. Would he have been behind killing Biggie? Like, I can't wrap my brain around that.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just a whole bunch of crazy, I'm sure, probably hardly any of it's true, but yeah, the stories and where it's going is fascinating. So we'll try to do a deeper dive on that, or just go onto TikTok because everybody else is.
Oh my gosh, there's so much on TikTok.
Yeah. But yeah, she was just saying in that song Jolene, when she say, Jolene, I know I'm a queen, but I'm still a Creole Banshee bitch from Louisiana.
Oh.
So she said, Angie said, I know the albums get a lot of hate from the masses for not being real country, but I think people should give it a chance before shitting on it. And yeah,
I don't think it should deserves any hate. I
Not
think
at
it's
all.
innovative.
Not a bit.
I think it's amazing. I think when artists step outside of their little pop bubble and do something amazing
Yeah.
like this, it should be celebrated.
Absolutely. No, I think there's all kinds of great styles. I think it's amazing for country music, too. It needs a lot more diversity and new sounds and mixing things up. And
It's spicy.
yeah, I would say it feels to me like more over the last 10 years that country has embraced its diversity a little bit more and is more welcoming than it was once upon a time to artists. I'm sure it's not even close to where it needs to be, but it feels like it's heading in the right direction. I think Beyonce doing something like what she's done will hopefully help to speed that along. So one artist after another will do that. Let me see some other emails that we got here. One to clear up was we had heard what Costco was doing with the weight loss drugs. And Don said, I just want to show you guys what's actually included and not included in the Costco weight loss program, because I went to go check it out after I heard Kevin talking about it this morning. It does not include the actual medication or labs, according to Don. It's Sesame's weight loss program. It's a 3-month comprehensive solution tailored to your individual needs. You get a video consultation with a weight loss doctor or specialist, a GLP-1 or other weight loss prescription as appropriate, insurance coordination for prescription authorization, ongoing support via unlimited messaging, nutrition, exercise guidance, and lab order if needed. So you do not get the cost of the medication or the cost of the lab work if needed.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it is. And I thought, I'm like, if that truly is the cost, this is going to be revolutionary. But it's not revolutionary. So, yeah.
Costco tricked us.
Well, it didn't trick. I didn't have all it didn't have all the answers.
It got me excited.
I had only seen it, and I was like, I have more questions than I do answers, and I thank you for those answers.
Where you at, Sam's Club? Don't they? Does Sam's Club, they do bulk too, don't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Let me see. Another email that we got here. We were talking about somebody who is in a really toxic job situation, but she really can't afford to get out of it. And she's been applying for jobs for 18 months. Nothing has come her way yet. And Marva said, my daughter-in-law was in a situation like that as well. She quit her job and within a month had a job paying for $30,000 more. Yes, it was about 15 minutes further from her house, but it's so worth her mental health. I think there is something to it. And there were other people that texted in with similar stories. And, my one thought and recommendation was she didn't want to jump off of it. But look, if you can buy back a good portion of your mental health, and part of it too, she's drinking a bottle of wine a night. And I think that might be part of it.
That is not the right way to go if you're sad about your life, your job. It's just not.
Yeah, it is odd because, look, hey, I'll let you know. I'll give you full disclosure. I mean, sometimes when I've had anxiety, I've drank, and oddly enough, I'm like, well, I think I have more anxiety than I did before. And I think it does compound itself. So I don't think that is the right cure. I think the cure is sunshine, fresh air, water, that kind of stuff.
But on the weekend, let loose a little, have a few glasses of wine or whatever. But she was doing a bottle every night. And that, to me, is when it starts to be a problem. And it's compounding and compounding and compounding like that. Now this is what you need to be able to get through the day.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Well, and Ryan had even said, that's a lot of money on wine. And it is. So imagine if you cut out the wine, if you got rid of the job and you found something that, hey, was suitable, you're still making money. Maybe you're not making as much. You can then you can adjust your family's finances to try to make it work out and then keep trying to get back to the place where you were. But like I said, buying back your mental health and getting out of that toxic environment, that's got to be worth so much more than money.
Follow your heart. Get into wine sales.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, right. There you go. Honestly, yeah. Yeah. KJ said, alcohol is a depressant. It definitely makes it worse. So if you do find yourself in that cycle.
When you're doing it, it's fun. But then the next day, if you've got all those stresses and all those things that are making you sad, they're not going to go away. They're just going to feel more heavy with a hangover.
Yep. That's pretty much it. So hopefully that helps her out. Love to see her get out of that kind of funk. Got Linnea sending an email in about the machine that asked for the tip. Yesterday, there was somebody who said they got a $500 suit and then they wanted to get a tip. And if they'd have left 10% or whatever it was going to be another $100. And they're like, wait, what? I don't want to, like, the guy, just helped me try on a suit. That was it. She said, the company that they work for is knowingly paying the employee less and hoping you'll pick up their slack. It's disgusting and it should be illegal. I know that people are so over with the tip stuff. And it has got no point. I wonder if they will start coming up with some kind of regulation about who can tip and where and those kind of things. Because it does feel like there are at least the worst of the worst are businesses who are then trying to pay their employees less and hoping that their clientele will make up for it with guilt tips. And they're making it as guilty as it possibly can be. So we'll see what happens there.
Everyone loves a little guilt with their order. It's always a great customer experience.
One thing that kind of jumped out at me, too, was Amazon walking back on technology. At least I think that's what this is. Remember how we heard about those Amazon Fresh stores that were going to be doing the just walk out policy, where you pick your shit off the shelf and you just walk right out of the store and you're like, wait, isn't that called shoplifting? But no, I guess the technology, it's able to somehow check you out and you don't have to worry about all that stuff. But now Amazon Fresh is getting rid of it. All of it. Yeah. They're going to be getting rid of it. They're going to replace it with what they call dash cards, where shoppers can scan their items as they go.
Yeah, I heard of this.
I don't understand like where they set this up, if it's on your cart if you're scanning, or I'm not even sure what that is, but
it sounds like there's got some problems too, potential problems.
Yeah, it sounds like they're walking back where they were. It sounds like a step back from technology advancement, does it not? At least my understanding.
Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of makes me think that they realized, oh, wait, we got ahead of ourselves.
Well, I think it's crazy to see people's opinions on technology in general, because some people think if you critique it at all, you don't want any technology and you don't want to get better as a species. And then some people are really scared of technology, thinking it's going so quick that it really is going to start making people obsolete. It depends on, what field you're in, but technology's in a weird spot right now.
It is. I think with everything, we haven't quite figured out. We're in that in between. We're in a weird flux right now. There's so much technological advancement that it's not settled. It's like shifting sands.
And everyone's got major different opinions about it too.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we all got tricked about how cool and shiny it was, but then you realize, oh fuck, I think the whole world's turning insane.
Yeah, it seems like every piece of tech, there is some kind of conflict with it. Like, for instance, I saw with the AI voice cloning tool, OpenAI, the ChatGPT stuff, they can replicate anybody's voice within just 15 seconds of a demo.
That's insane.
They're not releasing it to the public because they say it's too risky.
No shit.
Finally, a good decision.
So they're not doing that. But then at the same time, I saw today, maybe it's the New York Times, they now, on their app, they're going to be using voice AI to read you all of your news.
Oh, it's already happening when you go on YouTube. Nowadays, when you want to look up anything on YouTube, you are fighting AI versus a commentator, and what people are doing now to make sure the audience knows they're watching a real person, you'll hear them narrate, and then they'll cut to them talking on a microphone, then they'll cut back to the content as their voice is still going. But some of these, they are getting good, and you can't tell you're robots doing it until they start making little weird, non-human.
How long will it take? How many years will it take for them to start working out those little kinks?
I don't think it's that long.
Those tweaks. Because you remember the first time we saw CGI and how bad that looked? And now you get to a point where it just got steadily better year by year.
I mean, Pete Davidson was dating, what's that girl? The Rose?
Gypsy Rose.
It's not real. It's Pete Rose.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's Pete Davidson
Pete
holding
Rose.
the hands of Gypsy
Pete Rose and Gypsy Rose.
You know what I'm talking about. The picture looked real. Did that picture not look real?
It did look real.
They're holding hands walking out of a store, and it looks like Pete Davidson or Pete Rose is with the Rose girl. I keep forgetting her name.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard. What a major downgrade from Ariana Grande.
But it looked real.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of weird about it. And so where it's going to land, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, if you're thinking about any career you're going into, I was actually thinking about this with sports, because now, in fact, the new camera system we have is going to have the ability where microphones can detect who's talking and it'll automatically switch the camera. They have that in sports where they put a sensor in the ball and the cameras follow the ball wherever it goes. And so for high school sports and other sports now, they're getting rid of how many camera operators and everybody to work it. You set up 5 cameras that follow the game, and I'm wondering how long before you get an AI sportscaster.
Oh, they already do it in radio. They had AI Ashley.
Yeah, each jersey could have some kind of sensor in it, and there's a computer using AI to figure out what the hell's going on in the field, and then an AI voice is doing the play-by-play commentary.
And honestly, a lot of people won't give a shit. I think that's
Yeah,
what's
right.
sad for a lot of people because they know if this becomes the norm. I'm all for about using it as a tool. I'm not about making us obsolete as a species. And I personally think that if we're not careful, we could go that way.
And that's the problem that we have, as we were talking about in radio and our industry.
What's
is
happening?
The cost of an actual human employed versus AI. The human's better, but how much worse is the AI? And you equate that to dollar amounts and you say, hey, man, we really cut our budget by a ton. And yeah, people like us 80% as much as they used to, but you do that math and you compute that, you're still probably turning in more money and you got a better bottom line than you did before.
I just know that if some artist came out with a song that they didn't write and it was an AI, but it sounded great, people would love it and it would do well. And
Yeah.
that's scary.
I know.
And I know that people will say, well, that's just the way the world's moving. I guess if you just want quick technology and not have humans have that human spirit and be creative and do things from the heart, I don't know. I think we lose some magic, and I think we lose just our ability to be spiritual towards one another.
Yeah,
we're losing spirit.
as you were
I'm not
talking
trying to be
about
negative, but
yeah.
I can see it.
As you're talking about the Mystic River that spoke to musicians to help them pen songs.
I think we should be out in nature a little bit more. Let's go, V.
Let's go right now.
I would love
I'm
to.
ready.
Nature hike, all of us.
Bring me to the woods. Jaybird's been yelling it for years. Let's go.
And I've been saying, the robots are coming.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you for all your emails. Well, almost all of your emails. You can send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. You have an amazing day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.